The Truth 33 mg. A lot of comments looking for a review on this. What the hell's going on here? Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. MFJJ here at podiumarcher.com, looking at a Truth Archery 33 mg. This is very interesting to say the least. I don't think I've ever seen this in our space before. This bow looks incredibly similar to a Martin / Obsession. I can only assume they're probably made in similar spots and similar technologies used in both. I actually reached out to Martin earlier this year trying to get one of these bows to test, one of theirs, and I never heard back. And I'm only going to work so hard to try to get somebody to send me a bow to just give them a review that's only going to benefit them, unless their stuff's way off. From my understanding, is the same designer or engineer, and I'm just going to leave names out of this because I think I've talked about it enough. Designed this, designed theirs. So these say they're built in Idaho. I think that's what the box says. My buddy Scotty actually sent me this to review so I can compare it against other ones, since I do typically the most thorough ones out in the industry. So that's how I got this. I haven't heard from this company at all. They do have what they call KSET technology, which is a cam drive system on your wheels. It looks very much similar to Bowjax system, which I got to be honest, I'm not sure how they're making this and not getting some kind of lawsuit, because it looks like it works exactly the same. So I'm going to try it right now. So I got a little wrench. I'm just going to drive this thing and see what it does. So as I'm turning this, it's threading into this side and unthreading from that side. And from what I can tell, that's the same thing Bowjax does almost exactly. So I'm not sure how this isn't some kind of an issue, but time will tell. Much like the Athens thing, where I wasn't sure how that wasn't an issue. But it works simply. I love that kind of a system. I wish that the brand that designed that might license it to other brands, because I personally think that type of thing works the best. It does appear to have titanium hardware everywhere. It's got some rubber insets on the limbs. I don't remember the verbiage. It's, I can't remember. They've got a patent issuing or attempting to issue on this rubber stuff. This bow is really, really light, and we'll measure its physical weight exactly, but it's 342 foot a second, axle to axle 33 inches, brace height 6 inches, weight 3.45 pounds. That is the lightest performance bow I've ever heard of by a pretty good amount. So if this doesn't have a lot of vibration, I'll be pretty shocked, because as you reduce the weight, typically a bow is going to vibrate more. That's part of the give and take with these things. And honestly, is vibration really that important to be dead in your hand? I don't know if it really helps performance or not, but traditionally vibration follows noise, and the decibel meter will tell us how loud this bow is. So all things being said, it's pretty odd for this to randomly come out in the middle of the year, completely brand new company, similar product to another company. So I don't know what the inner workings are going on there or what's causing that, but there's got to be something at play there that's allowing this to happen. That being said, let's test some stuff. Okay, so this says it has a 6-inch brace height. It doesn't look too far off. That's dead nuts 6-inch right through the center of the string. So that looks about right. 33 axle to axle. We've misplaced the little piece in here, so I'm not sure what we're doing there. So I'm going to go from one side of the axle to the other side of the axle. And it looks longer than that. Yeah, it looks like it's 33 3/8. That's good. Where's the brace? Axle to axle. 33 3/8. Published was 33. Line there. Riser geometry of length. Riser's 31. Not a lot. That's appealing. I do find something very interesting here that I'm noticing, which I don't know how relevant it is. It's like 1 inch and 3/8 reflex. I like that. Okay, so we need to measure our loadout point. We need to measure our physical weight, our actual draw length. So we'll get those over here. Start with physical weight. All right, looks like we got 3.6 to 3.7, saying 3.45. Got an arrow rest on there. I'd say that's what it weighs. It's pretty damn close. So let's see what you can change the draw length on this thing. It ain't set yet. This bow goes to 30 and a half. I don't know what the deal is with this module, and once again, I'm going to reinforce that they didn't send me this bow to test. A friend sent it to me, and this module, for one reason or another, only goes to 29 inches. There's a whole bunch of holes in it. It should technically go to 30, was it 30 and a half? Yeah, it should go to 30 and a half, but for some reason, the extra holes aren't in there. According to their module chart, the longest I can set this at is 29 inches. So we're going to have to shoot it at 29 and a half, sorry, 29 and a half inches. So figure it's probably going to be 7 foot a second slower to 8 foot a second slower than it should be. I'm going to estimate 7. So we can add that mentally to this to if it was 30 to try to be fair with these numbers against everybody else's. So let's measure how it actually measures out at. This should be set at 29 and a half. This could have very well been like a prototype module or something like that and is not fully finished. So we're going to give it, I'd say dead center, that's 29 and a quarter. So it's a quarter short, I guess, if this is truly 29 and a half or supposed to be 29 and a half. Let's measure a couple other things here. Let me write that down. Looks like about 34 inches on a 33-inch bow. That's pretty good. It's leaving the cam in a really high position. A lot of things about this bow I actually like. All right. We have 350 grain arrows through the Truth 33 MG, which I'm assuming means magnesium, at 29 and a half inches at 70 pounds. I want to say it said 347. So we're probably realistically looking for 340 at 29 and a half. And yes, I know it's not 30 inches. I got a whole bunch of questions about this bow and they didn't send me one. So somebody else just sent it to me so I could test it for you. Here we go. Oh, first pull of the day. $330. Like I said, I think we're looking for 340. So that's not terrible, 332. So that's an average of 331. It's honestly pretty good, which the one thing I will say about bows that have been, the cam systems have been engineered by Kevin Struther over the years, which is who engineered this. They're usually fast. And that bow didn't feel bad. I'm going to grip this one really good so I can see if it vibrates. Oh yeah, she's vibrating. 327, 332 again. So that's a 329, 330. Say 330. So 331, 330. We'll stick on a 330 average right now. 329, 327, so 328. So we're going to give it a 329 average. Now let's shoot some 450s. For how light this bow is, the vibration isn't bad. It does reverberate throughout if you grip it. Yeah, the initial thud is noticeable, but there's a little hum in there. That's a 3, ignore that Garmin one, 288. We'll let it reset 1. There's no way that's right. With the Garmin's, unless you reset it in between each arrow, a lot of times you can't trust the first one you get. 287, 292, so that's going to be an average of 290. So 292, so go back to 290. 290 is your average. Now I'll shoot these big ass heavy ones. 246, once again, can't trust the Garmin on the first one, so 246. 244, 247. So that's a 246 average. What was the previous one? 246. Okay, we'll call her 246. 240 and 249.50. Wow, so 245. We'll give you that 246 average for that one. I'm not going to set this at 28 and shoot it because I don't have it at 30 to begin with. We will measure the decibel reading for you so we know how loud it is. All right, consistent on the decibels. It's pretty high, but it's not shocking for how light it is. Let's go figure some stuff out. Okay, these are the best estimations I can give you. The bow probably would have shot 336, and it's rated at 342. I misspoke earlier at 347. Apologize for that. That's really within spec, and that speed is pretty close to one of the fastest ones. We have a new board. You may have noticed this giant monstrosity of a board that I had in here forever. Jeff made me get rid of it. So we now have something small we can move out of the way from. We're not doing these things, but I don't have all the old bows on here and their speeds, so I don't know what they were. Yeah, I can't compare. I know that's a good number, though. That's high up there. That's within 3 or 4 feet of the fastest one, somewhere around there. So that's very impressive. And It's even more impressive that this bow measures 29.25. So really, if it was actually set at a true 30-inch measurement, it's probably 339. So it's probably like the fastest bow we tested. It's very impressive in that regard. But I've said before, whenever Kevin has designed something, it's usually the fastest thing you can get one way or another, because that's what drives him, I think, more than anything. Haven't talked to him in a long time, but okay. So we're going to call it 336 for 30 inches, 295 for 450 grain arrow, and a 249 for a 650 grain arrow. Because I didn't have the ability to set this at 30, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me to set it at 28 to give you a comparison, because I can't fairly do that. So let's give this some solid numbers and go. Speed. We're going to give it the 336 number, which puts it at 12. Weight. It actually weighed 3.45. So that's going to give it a 9. Tunability. This is awesome. This system does work just like Bowjax, which once again has me question how long this is going to be around for, or if we're going to end up in another Athens type situation. My initial guess would be probably, but hard to say. Time will tell on that one. All right. Tunability. There is no timing feature on this bow. There is a great wheel lean tuning feature that I do love how it works. So I'll give you a 10. Integration features. This is the hard part about being a new bow company. You probably don't have a whole bunch of parts and accessories, etc., that you can integrate to your bow. The only integration feature that I see on here is the rear mount for the Hamskea. Doesn't even have the IMS, which is the most common one. So I give you like a 2. Honesty. Honestly, it's very impressive. Like the numbers are like all right there. I'm going to give you a 13 on honesty. Feel. I'm going to give you a 5, middle of the road, and I'm going to give you that for a couple of reasons. One, there is a lot of vibration after the shot. I do like the grip feel. It is on the loud side, which we'll have that in there as well. Doesn't seem torquey or anything like that, but it's kind of middle of the road in that one. Design. This is an impressive product. It really is. No one's gotten anywhere near this weight. Like this is really, really light. And to do it, it's not like they really butchered it, right? There's still structural mass to this thing. I do think the design of it is relatively good. Just being real, I'm going to give you an 8. $16.99.99. Got to be honest, that's a good deal for what this is. For being this light, this fast, this feel, this tunability. I got to give you like a 4 for value. I really do. And I understand there's going to be people out there that are pissed at $1,700 and I give a 4 for value. Try to build this. People who are pissed about that, you're going to have a really hard time doing it. Every other bow that's a mag bow is this much or more, and this is the lightest one. And out of all the ones I've tried, this is up there in how it feels. So, and it's got some tunability on it that some of the other ones don't have. Sound, 82.5. Did we have a sound chart? I don't think we did. Okay. So I know this is about the highest one or the second highest one. So I got to give you like a 2 for sound. Appeal. Got to be honest, this bow looks good, feels good. I mean, there's a lot of cuts in it like the older Matthews used to have and whatnot. So, I mean, there's not a ton of origination in the feel of origination in the look of it. Originality. Thank you. Yeah. There's not a lot of originality in the look, because I've seen bows that look very similar to this, especially from the standpoint that I think this is really similar to a Martin. Like, and someone down below can try to explain what's going on here, because I couldn't get him on the phone. But so I'm gonna give you a middle of the road for appeal. I don't think there's a lot of originality here. No, I gotta go below it. I gotta give you a 2, because there's not a lot of originality in how this thing looks, and that's in the appeal. So let's add it up. So 67, and that's not a bad score at all. And keep in mind, a lot of big losses on this bow are in the fact that it doesn't really have integrations and features. There's 8 points marked down for that. You throw 8 onto that, and it's one of the best ranked bows we got. This bow is really, 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 really impressive. The one thing that I would be cautious of is there's other bows out there that look just like this, which seems weird, like almost identical. And this, little cautious of whether or not there's not a problem with that going forward. But if you got the opportunity to try one out, you're probably going to be pretty impressed. I know I was. Comment down below what you think of this. Go down to your local pro shop and check out this bow if they have it. They need you, you need them, you need that relationship. Buy from them. Don't buy from me. Okay? I don't want to buy, I want you buying from me from the pro shop, all right? Now, if you're going to buy it online, only if you're going to buy it online, podiumarcher.com for all those archery needs. $99 and up is free shipping. And coupon code MFJJ will save you a little money. What other bows have we missed? What other things did I not pay attention to or rank? What do you want to see in next year's rankings? Comment down below. Interact. Jeff reads them. I don't. Thanks for watching.